Today I want to share a testimony, and this testimony is about my daughter, Emma Rose. So, in order to share this story, I kind of have to go back sometime and tell you a little bit about myself first. So, I was raised Christian. Always believing myself to be a Christian. But in high school, I got into a lot of trouble. I started hanging out with a crowd, and we all just kind of got in a lot of trouble. And as I got out of high school, I started drinking and using pills in high school. And when I graduated, it got a lot worse. I did a lot of partying. I was with a lot of different women. Just a lot of sin in my life, and all the while I was a Christian. So these pills and alcohol, I stopped drinking, and the pills turned into something deeper, a lot heavier usage. And anyway, it stuck with me for a long time. I've been clean now for 4 years, maybe more than 4 years. But when I met Veronica, I was clean at the time. I wasn't using at the time. And I don't know if you guys already know this, but Veronica and I were only together for 4 months, and then we got married. So she obviously didn't know that much stuff about me. She didn't know about my history. I told her just a little bit. I said, oh yeah, I had a little bit of problems using drugs here and there, but I'm good now. And then we got married. Then like 3 months after we got married, unfortunately for her, she saw the other side of me, and I started using again. And at that time, I was no longer using opiates. I was using amphetamines, and it got way out of hand. But Veronica stuck with me through it all. Anyway, the first 2 years of our marriage, I was just out of control. And by the grace of God, she stayed with me for some reason. I don't know how. But Veronica prayed for me a lot. And I truly believe that a wife's prayer for her husband is a very, very powerful thing. All prayer is powerful, but anyway, I've always wanted a kid. I always wanted to be a dad. And Veronica and I started trying for a long time, and finally Veronica got pregnant. But see, I wasn't following Christ yet. I would have still called myself a Christian, but I wasn't really following Christ yet. And I was still using on and off. And she finally got pregnant. I don't know how many weeks in it was, but we went to the doctors for, I think it was the second time or third time, to check on the baby, to see how the baby was doing. And when they did to look at the baby, I forget how you call it, but they didn't see the heartbeat. We listened for it, we didn't hear it. We looked for it, we didn't see it. And then they told us that we lost the baby. We were both really, really upset because we were really excited about this. We've been trying for a while, and I've always wanted to be a dad, but we lost the baby. And I said something to Veronica that I will never forget. I wish I would have never said it, but I did. I told her, as she's crying on the gurney on the table, I said, if you want to blame anyone, you can blame God. It's his fault that we lost the baby. He killed our baby, pretty much. And I'm a Christian at this time. So we lost the baby. And I start using again, and just crazy. And then I get clean one day. One day I just got clean. I broke down severely like a baby, and I just wept and cried, and I asked God to help me, to deliver me from this, because I can't. I've been to rehabs. I've done everything to get off of drugs. And if you have anyone who's an addict, you know that from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep, their whole day is they need to find a fix. They need to find something. So the desire, the craving for drugs was just overwhelming. He took it away in a day. After that prayer, it was gone. The desire to use was gone. The Lord took it. He took it. What rehab couldn't fix, what nothing could fix, family couldn't fix, my wife couldn't fix, the Lord took it. He took it. After that, stopped using, and I devoted my life to Christ. I truly became a Christian. I mean, I love the Lord. I still love the Lord. But man, I still am. I love the Lord. He saved me. And guess what? Almost exactly a year after we lost the baby, now I'm a Christian. Now I'm clean. Veronica gets pregnant again. Not only that, I get a good job. I get 2 job offers. The Lord just started just raining down blessings on me. But anyway, the crazy thing about how Emma was born, and I hope this isn't a little too graphic, but let me think of how I can say this. So Veronica and I were like, okay, let's try to have a baby. That baby's being Emma. And before we went to try to have a baby, I prayed and I said, Lord, if it is your will, please let Veronica get pregnant. And I just got this weird feeling when I prayed, when I was praying. And it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but I just knew that the Lord heard my prayer. He always hears our prayers, but that it was answered. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So I prayed that literally right before, and 3 weeks later, or something like that, Veronica's like, oh, I'm pregnant. But what's awesome is the time that I prayed matched up to the time that she got pregnant. So the same day I prayed that and we went and tried to have a baby, she got pregnant that same day. The time matched up directly to that day. So all the while, now Veronica's pregnant because God is amazing, and I'm following the Lord. I'm praying over the baby. I'm praying over Veronica. And my prayer for Emma, all the while she's in her mom's belly, was that Emma would grow up to live a life pleasing to the Lord. All I prayed for Emma was that the Lord would do whatever he would with her. My prayer for Emma is that the Lord would get honor and glory for himself through Emma's life. That's all I ever prayed for her. Of course, I want her to be healthy, all this stuff. And all my life, I've had a fear of having a kid, and maybe there might be something wrong with them. I think we all might have that fear, but I had it a lot. I just didn't want anything to be wrong with my child. And now, the doctors say, oh, everything's good, and I'm praying over her, and that was just my prayer continually. Lord, do what you will with her. She is yours. He gave me to her. I give Emma back to the Lord. This is the Lord's child. Do with her what you will. Continually praying that over her. Emma's born. She's healthy. and everything seems normal. She gets to be about, I don't know, 1, and we start seeing things that aren't right. She's doing little things that other kids aren't doing. We start to see these signs where she's not making eye contact. She's not responding to her name. She's doing a lot of spinning. As soon as she starts walking, she's doing spinning. She's not eating. Just a lot of random things that I didn't, I knew something wasn't right. And I knew well before Veronica knew. Like most parents, no one wants to say, oh yeah, my kid's got autism, but I already knew. So here's the whole point of this video, is the Lord is sovereign. He's in control of everything. Now, Emma is an answer to my prayers, and I know God hears me. He answers my prayers in the most amazing ways that you probably wouldn't even believe me. I know for a fact that Emma is going to do exactly that for which I have prayed. I know that Emma is going to grow up, that I know that Emma's life is going to be pleasing to the Lord. Like, as sure as I am that the Lord brought Emma to this earth the same day that I prayed, is as sure he answers. He is a God who hears and he answers. And he answers the prayers that are in accordance to his will. And if I were to ask you, is it in accordance to God's will that we grow up and we give our lives to the Lord, that we do his will? Of course it is. So here's the thing. Emma has autism. Now I'm thinking like, Lord, I prayed for her. I did all this stuff for her. Now I'm praying that you would heal her from her autism. I'm praying that you would help her to speak and have conversations with me. I want to hear her pray to you. I want to hear her worship you. And I'm just like, why? This was my biggest fear. Why? And my dad told me, didn't you pray? Didn't you give Emma to the Lord? Didn't you pray that the Lord would do whatever he will with her? I said, yeah. Then why are you questioning the will of the Lord? Why are you asking why? So now I'm at this place where I really need to trust the Lord. I really need to trust the Lord with everything, with Emma's life, with every situation, especially this autism situation. So as a follower of Christ, I understand that the Lord is sovereign, and yes, he is sovereign over everything, including Emma's autism. So, in other words, autism, I truly believe, is a gift from the Lord. Emma is special. She has a specific purpose on this earth. As we all do, we're all created, God created all of us with a purpose, with a will. We are to do his will, whatever that be. And I know for a fact that Emma's going to grow up and be the Lord's. Do whatever. She has a special purpose. Though I wish that she didn't have autism, there is a reason for it, and that reason is going to bring glory and honor to God Most High. So I'm pretty sure that's what I wanted to share. Sometimes we think, well, why does this person have cancer? Or why did God take my first child? The Bible says, the Lord says, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. As far as the heavens are above the earth, so are my thoughts above your thoughts. We can't comprehend an omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient God. We can't comprehend eternity. We can't comprehend anything. We don't know. See, the first child that I lost, that baby is in better hands now than he or she would have been here. I wasn't in my right mind at the time. I wasn't clean. I couldn't hold a job, nothing. So if you're going through something, if your child is sick, if your child has autism, something, just know that God is in control of every situation, and though it might not be something that you would have it be, God's ways God's way is far more better than ours. You have to put your trust in God and just let go and give it to the Lord. I hope this helped. This is way longer than what I thought.